How are you doing today?
Very well, thanks.
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Except for what happened in Connecticut, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was trying not to think about it, but I just dropped my 2 little ones off at school. And
Yeah, that's difficult. What advice, I guess, would you give to cities that are broken like that, whether it's tragedy?
I'm the wrong guy to ask, but I think we all need to come together and try to make a change. It's just so many horrible things happening out there, and especially when you're talking about innocent children being involved. It's just so scary being a father of 4.
No, it really is. And I know with your character, actually, and you're moving to that, is really about kind of fighting various injustices that occur in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So what for you is the biggest injustice that you've seen in your lifetime that you really wish you could change or make right or get out?
Obviously, there's a lot out there. For me, I just tried to give back to the kids that are facing, difficult situations like the ones I faced, That's why I started my youth foundation. For me, it really kind of starts at home. I know there's a lot going on in the world, in the Middle East and various places, but, we also have kids that are faced with a serious uphill battle here, at-risk youth, inner-city kids that are, living in these dangerous places. We just had our annual Christmas party for my youth foundation, and it's the first time that I took all my kids, and we try to give these kids a special Christmas. Timberland and New Balance and all these companies give a lot of stuff, and then we had these video games, which was like the special thing for them at the end. And I made sure after I gave every one of those kids a game, I made them promise me that they were going to stay out of trouble.
Wow.
And behave themselves. And my daughter was making fun of me. She does a really good imitation of me. She's like,
Really?
"You stay out of trouble. You promise." Right? And I'm like, but she's like, "Why are you saying that to all of them, Daddy?" Because they see these kids are happy and they look like them, but they don't know what they face when they go home and they get off of that bus, in the neighborhoods that they grew up in. I do everything I can to make sure my kids won't have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But I also want them to understand that, kids are really, have a very different lives from them, and we need to do something about that. So it was nice to see, and then we also took them to our restaurant, and they all wanted to work. My sons were cleaning up and bussing tables, my daughter was working behind the cash register.
Wow.
They wanted to get paid at the end of the day.
Of course.
But they worked.
They understand
which was
the
nice.
value of a
Yes,
dollar.
That was nice. They
That's
didn't
awesome.
think because their name was on the marquee of the restaurant that they had this sense of entitlement. They wanted to work.
Right. That's awesome that you're instilling that in them
Well,
at
I
such
have
an
to.
early age.
We're building a new house, and they're like, "We don't want to live in that house." Like, why? We want to live in an apartment. I'm like, well, this quickly it's changed. I mean, gosh, I'm working so hard to give my kids what we never had, and
Right.
they don't want it.
And speaking of working so hard, in this film, not only do you act, but you produce too. What about your love for this script made you say, I gotta do both?
We got the material, Alan sent the material to me, and we needed to figure out a way that we could maintain all the control creatively. And so, that's the way you do it. We got the financing, and, we went and hired everybody and attracted all this talent based on the material. It's really quality material.
Wow.
And I love the characters, I love the story. It's kind of like a throwback to the movies that I grew up watching with my dad.
Well, thank you so much
Thank you.
for taking the time out
Thank
to
you.
speak to us.
Thank
We
you.
really, really thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
your
much.
time.
It's a pleasure.